Careers are weird, fam. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Q1. Remember all that drama to hit Q4 KPIs? Yeah, that's done. Fully reset now. None of it matters anymore. We're all back to square one. That's the joys of careers. Happy new year, you guys. I hope you're all really good and had an amazing holiday period. I really hope you guys took a break, took some time off, and actually disconnected. And when I say disconnected, I mean I hope you uninstalled Slack from your phone and logged out of your work email, like proper mental health care. It is Wednesday because new episodes come out on Wednesdays, and I promised you guys you'd have a new episode on Wednesday, which means you've all been back at work since Monday the 6th, and yikes. I feel like it's one of those really awkward ones where everyone's like, how was your break? You look refreshed and ready and excited to hit the ground running. And I'm just like, no. I've had my taste of freedom and I am back with a renewed sense of hatred for this place and just great clarity that this is not what I'm meant to be doing with my life. But of course, as a corporate girly, I am much more polite than that, and I've made a conscious decision to be nicer this year. So, and that conscious decision was kind of supplemented by the fact that I saw this reel on Instagram that was like, POV, working a 9 to 5 is so stressful and tiring. But I get to travel every year. I get to have a secure place to live. I've learned new skills for life. So your job may not be perfect, but there's lots that it does for you. Which is true. I mean, yes, it's incredibly frustrating sometimes and feeling like, ugh, I don't want to come back after the holidays. But maybe we can go into this new year with a little bit more gratitude because our incredibly boring and draining 9 to 5s do enable and facilitate the other things that we want to do in life, which I can attest to. It does. Hey. So, with that being said, practice gratitude. But, do not stop being ambitious and going after what you want. Our careers are only as weird as we make them, and the good news is they're entirely in our control. So this episode is literally an example of I'm just going to talk to myself and all the thoughts that are going on in my head about my career, but I'm just going to mic up so I don't look crazy because the list of things that we're probably going to go through now are just they're the things that I've been thinking about and things that I also need to do. So, yeah, things we can all do for our careers this year, especially now that it's the start of the year, and this is for myself included. I'm guessing number one is set professional goals. So I know a lot of us have done 2025 vision boards or bingo cards. I've seen so many people doing these bingo cards, right? And a lot of them have been purely social and personal. So, here's an idea. Let's sprinkle some professional into it, things that you want to achieve. So, for example, you want to complete X certification or speak at one or industry event or maybe 2 industry events, revamp portfolio, just whatever goal it is that you want. Obviously, sit and think about it. But, don't choose these based off of what someone else thinks you should do. So don't just enroll for an MBA because you think you should. Make sure whatever professional goal you choose aligns with what you want. The second thing is we need to reflect on last year's work. Now, some people would think, oh, you should have done this at the end of last year. No, at the end of last year, I was way too tired to be reflecting on the year's work. Now that I'm a lot happier and breathing again and non-violent, now is the time I think to reflect on last year's work. And what I mean by that is take a look at all the work you did last year. So the projects you liked, the projects you didn't like, the type of work you'd like to do more of, and the types of work that you'd like to never do again. And then use this so you can make sure that you're setting yourself up for a year of a career that you enjoy. Because, remember, not everything is a quit your job and take a massive leap kind of situation. Sometimes it's just leaning into the work that you prefer, and that could sometimes be with another team in the same company. But in order to figure that out, you just need to take a step back almost and look at the stuff that you did last year, just so things make sense for you. The third thing is plan for change, but like strategically. Hey, plan for change strategically. If you genuinely do not like where you are, if you're feeling stuck, bored, angry, upset at work, chances are that you do need a change. But, let me be straight with you. The job market is SHIT right now. So, under no circumstances would I tell anyone with any responsibilities to quit without another role in hand. That would be no bueno. So, again, go back to those professional goals because you might need to get X certification to make the change that you need more accessible to you. So, in the meantime, before you make that, don't quit. Please don't quit. I just told you it was SHIT, the current market. Make sure you're getting the professional stat that you need to be able to make that change. And then going positive now. So, the next thing that, and this is a big one for me personally, because it's on my list of to-dos, and it's on my list of to-dos every year, and I never do it. But this year, I swear I am going to do it, is building a win tracker. And that is make a list, document your wins, especially ahead of performance reviews. And, because it's the start of the year, it's the best time to do this. So this win tracker is basically everything that you do that has had a good, positive outcome. So when it's time to talk about promotions and pay rises, you're able to come to that conversation with a stack of undeniable proof of the work you did, and then, make it quantitative if you can. So you can be like successfully managed project valued at $XXX or delivered XXX number of campaigns. I don't know the lingo for every industry, but you get my point. There's no better time to start this than the new year because, you can always approach any conversation like, since January, I have delivered XXX. It's going to be so powerful for you. And this is a big one for me. Like, I need to document. There's so much that I do sometimes that I let slip into the background, which is very annoying because you guys know I'm not a background person. I'm a very woo. And so sometimes I look back and I know how much work I've done that has just kind of stayed in the background. And I'm like, no, hun, document, because that documentation becomes your stack of undeniable proof that you did the things you said you were going to do to the standard that you said you're going to do them to, and you enabled this, and this for the company. So that's definitely, I think, of all the things so far, this is like the one that it's the most intimidating to me to do because it's like, I'm like, I just write down all like my gold stars. But honestly, write them down because let me tell you, nobody else is going to remember them except you. And I'm like, I'm talking to myself at this point now. Like, girl, no one is going to remember this but you. The next one, and I do this all the time, but even I want to do it again now, is revamp your LinkedIn. So there's this saying that your website is your best sales rep because it works 24/7. Your LinkedIn is your website in a way because someone on the other side of the world might be looking for someone with your skill sets, and they're probably doing this on a different time zone to you when you're offline. And the difference between them shooting you a potential life-changing message or not is the amount of info on your LinkedIn. And this is a cool time to actually tell a mini story. Like, basically, back in October, I helped a friend revamp her LinkedIn, make it super good. Throughout the middle of October to November, she got a bunch of increased activity and had recruiters starting to DM her. And mind you, nothing had changed in terms of her experience and her education. That stuff was listed. But we did a bunch of work on like her about section, the job description parts of her experience, and some other bits. And guess what? She got a new job and started the new job in December. So yeah, LinkedIn revamps help. And if you want help with yours, actually just message me. I love doing that stuff. I've actually done it for so many friends. And I genuinely just love it. So if you want a LinkedIn revamp, message me. I'm super happy to help with that. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, your career is yours to chop and change and shape however you want to. So you just have to take things one step at a time. And I know I've given you this list of stuff to do, right? Like set your professional goals, reflect on last year's work, plan for change if you want to change, build the win tracker. I'm saying that to myself in that tone of voice. Build the damn win tracker, Andrea. Revamp your LinkedIn. But, you know, the big thing here is consistency is greater than intensity. That's actually something me and my friend say when we're talking about training, like actually going to the gym. We're like, oh, consistency is greater than intensity. But I think it works so well, especially in our careers, because it's so possible to like go insane this first month of the year and start, I don't know, enrolling in 10 courses and then finish none. So like just chill, make forward steps, be consistent, list out the courses you want to do and decide I'm going to do course 1 now in January, course 2 in June, course 3 in September, for example. Just make a plan to be consistent for it and make those forward steps, but don't sprint what is literally a marathon. This is your career. Like your career is so all encompassing. And it's weird. It's super weird, right? Yeah, anyway. That is my little bubble of careers are weird gratitude. If you're still listening in 2025, thank you. Guests are incoming for the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for more super cool interviews in interesting industries. Like there are some guests coming up that I'm just like, how? Like some of the honestly, you guys are super cool, and the things you do for work are just mind-blowing to me. And I'm super excited to talk to so many more of you. Come on the show. The main takeaway from this is basically, guys, go do some main character things in your careers this year, and then call me and tell me about it so I can put it on the podcast. So yeah, that's it for this week. I'm super excited for all of us and our careers this year. And until next Wednesday, stay weird and stay ambitious, my friends.